So, you're thinking about starting a faceless YouTube channel, right? I mean, the promise is incredible. Create awesome content, build a massive audience, and earn a real income, all without ever showing your face. But, there's a pretty harsh reality hiding behind all that hype. Let's break down what really separates the channels that win from the ones that just fade away. Take a good look at this number, 90%. Let that sink in for a second. It's a huge, kind of intimidating figure, and it represents the failure rate for new faceless channels. It's a massive hurdle, for sure, but understanding why that number is so high is the very first step to beating the odds.
Yep, that's what we're talking about. A staggering 9 out of every 10 new faceless channels just don't get any real traction. They post a handful of videos, things fizzle out, and they never reach their potential. But the reason they fail? It's probably not what you think.
You know how it goes. When things aren't working, it's so easy to point fingers. Creators blame the rise of AI, saying it's making things too easy. Or they'll say, oh, YouTube is just too saturated with content. And of course, the big one is just throwing your hands up and blaming the mysterious YouTube algorithm. But what if the real reason is something else entirely?
And here's the absolute truth, and this is the core of what we're talking about today. Success or failure isn't really about these external things you can't control. It almost always comes down to your internal strategy, or lack thereof, and avoiding a few critical mistakes before you even hit that record button.
All right, so let's dive right into those foundational errors. We're going to break down the biggest mistakes people make in their strategy, the kinds of things that can actually doom a channel from day one.
Okay, problem number 1, and this is a big one. Trying to be everything to everyone. One day you're posting about ancient Rome, the next day it's about crypto, and then you follow it up with a video game review. That kind of scattergun approach doesn't just confuse your audience, it completely throws off the YouTube algorithm, which has no idea who to show your videos to.
The solution here is something I call the rule of one. You choose one specific niche for one specific audience, and you make one clear promise to them. So for example, a channel on Stoic philosophy is pretty good, but a channel promising practical Stoic advice for young entrepreneurs, now that is a killer niche. That intense focus is what builds authority and a loyal audience that keeps coming back for more.
Next up is this huge misconception that faceless has to mean personalityless. When every video uses a different robotic voice, a different editing style, and a different overall tone, there's just nothing for the viewer to connect with. Your content ends up feeling generic and honestly, completely forgettable.
But here's the thing. You can absolutely build a powerful brand without ever appearing on camera. It's all about consistency. Use the same AI voice across all videos. Settle on a style of music, an editing pace, a format. This stylistic consistency is what builds a memorable identity. It creates trust, and it's what turns a casual viewer into a loyal subscriber.
And here's a big one that causes so much burnout: chasing views without any real plan for how you're going to make money. So many creators get stuck on this hamster wheel of just creating content, hoping that one day they'll hit the requirements for ad revenue, but just relying on ads is often a fast track to frustration and eventually quit.
Instead, the smart move is to plan for profit right from day one. Yeah, AdSense is great when it kicks in, but don't stop there. Think about affiliate marketing. You can link to products or services you genuinely recommend. Or even better, think about creating your own digital products like an ebook or a set of templates that perfectly serves your niche audience. Diversifying your income makes your channel so much more sustainable.
Okay, so we've nailed down the strategy part. But what about the content itself? Because even with a brilliant plan, a lot of channels fail right here, in the execution of the actual videos.
Oh man, this is maybe the single biggest trap new creators fall into today. They hear AI and they think it's a magic button. They just copy-paste a script from ChatGPT, run it through some robotic voice generator, and then slap random stock footage on top. YouTube and viewers see this for what it is: low-effort, reused content that adds no real value.
Just look at the crucial difference here. On the left, you've got AI used as a replacement for creativity. That's a failing strategy. But on the right, you see AI used as an assistant, and this is how you win. Use it to help you structure your ideas, but you have to be the one to add your own original explanations, your own insights. Think of it as a powerful tool to enhance your work, not do it for you.
Another critical mistake is just listing a bunch of facts. Nobody wants to watch a video that feels like a Wikipedia article being read aloud. People watch videos to be engaged, to be entertained, and to feel something. A video without a narrative, without any kind of story, will have viewers clicking away in the first 30 seconds. And the solution, honestly, is as old as storytelling itself. Every single video you make, no matter the topic, can benefit from this simple 3-act structure. You start with a powerful hook to grab their attention, then you present the core problem or question your video is about, and finally, you deliver the payoff, the solution, the answer, the big reveal. This simple formula is what keeps people watching until the very end.
This one's a heartbreaker, because you could pour your soul into making the most amazing video ever created, a true masterpiece. But if your title is boring and your thumbnail is generic, well, almost nobody is ever going to see it. The best content in the world means nothing if you can't get people to click in the first place.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly separates the two most important jobs of any YouTube video. Your title and your thumbnail have one single goal: to earn that click in a sea of other options. But once they've clicked, it's the job of your content, your story, your value, to keep them watching. You have to get great at both.
All right, we've covered strategy, we've covered content, but honestly, the single most common reason channels fail has almost nothing to do with either of them. It all comes down to mindset. Just take a look at this typical journey. So many creators will post 5, maybe 10 videos, see very little happen, and then quit because they think it's not working. But they're quitting before the game has even really started. It takes time for the YouTube algorithm to figure out who your channel is for. You won't get meaningful data, you won't see real patterns until you've crossed that 30 to 50 video threshold. Patience isn't just a virtue here, it's an absolute requirement. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the pitfalls. Let's flip the script. Let's put everything we've learned together into a clear, actionable formula for success. This is how you build a faceless channel that doesn't just survive, but actually thrives.
This is it. This is your checklist for success. If you do these things, you're already in the top 10%. First, lock in a clear niche. Second, use AI as your assistant to add your own unique value. Third, weave a story into every single video. Fourth, build a strong, memorable brand through consistency. And finally, and maybe most importantly, have the patience and discipline to get to that 30 to 50 video mark. That is the winning formula.
And I really want to leave you with this powerful idea. Think about it. Some of the biggest channels on the entire platform never show a face. Their success was never about being on camera. It was always about intelligent planning, creating quality content, and having a deep understanding of their audience. Strategy is everything.
So at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself this one question. Is the channel you're building based on hype, or is it built to win? Are you just chasing a trend, or are you ready to put in the work to implement a real strategy that builds something designed to last? The choice and the opportunity is all yours.